the Krotons is, when the TARDIS arrives on the planet of the Gons, the Doctor, Jamie, and Zoe discover a world ruled and enslaved by the Krotons. The brightest Gons are always chosen to serve as companions of the Krotons and are never seen again. The Doctor and his friends decide to put a stop to their rule, but in doing so, inadvertently unleash the true power and terror of the Krotons instead. This serial is kind of a bad one, with a few interesting gems in it. To start with the bad, the Krotons themselves are faulty. They look good from the waist up, however from the waist down, the menacing look of the Krotons is utterly destroyed when you see the skirt that doesn't do a good job of hiding the legs of the actor underneath. You can see it actually just move against the skirt, it's just terrible. The Krotons have a good evil voice, however they themselves are weak villains. They can't really hold their degenerator weapons and don't seem to do much other than just talk to each other about what is going on. They rarely seem to do any action at all. The serial also seemed kind of weak and didn't have much meat in it. It was just a rushed story, and you can tell it was just rushed. But with all the bad in the serial, there are some good gems in it. As always, the humor that goes on is always a joy. There's a scene I love in this where the Doctor takes there's the computer intelligence test that chooses the companions of the Gons that will be destroyed, and he goes back and forth between knowing what to do and what not, and Zoe has to tell him what to do. It's pretty funny. And an interesting detail about the species of the Gons is that they are just they're so subservient that for thousands of years that they just take orders from the Krotons without question. And when the Doctor comes and shows them their faults and what the Krotons really are, they begin to rebel, but at two different fronts. At the Krotons and themselves. The two factions get created, and both want the Krotons gone, but one faction also wants to overthrow the ruler of the Gons. This creates a good bit of tension and drama, but is not solved by the end of the serial. In a way, it doesn't have to, for by the end, the Krotons have been taken care of, and the Gons have to learn to take care of themselves. There is a bit of hope made for one Gon that you do kind of like by the end. Says he will take over as ruler and try and stop the rebel Gons. So you get a little bit of hope, something that you feel that will be solved. A neat idea is made about the Krotons, where they grow from a crystal-like fluid, kind of like evolution of our species from the seawater. However, they have to absorb the brain power of the people to get the power for themselves and their ship in order to grow and also to probably fly the ship. It is a good idea and fascinating to think about, and I was shocked to hear talk about evolution on a television show. Yes, I know it is common now, especially with the Big Bang Theory, but I was surprised to hear it from a show from 1969, at a time when I don't think it was possible to do so, and was probably frowned upon. And it was probably taboo back then, but again, it's science fiction, they could probably get away with things like that. This serial also introduces the Hazardous Action Displacement System, or HADS, function on the TARDIS. This function allows the TARDIS to automatically disappear and then reappear somewhere else when it is attacked at its position. This function comes in handy, and is also a pain depending on where it lands. One has to give a thumbs up to the actors in this type of cheap story, because they do a good job of just selling what is going on and making it believable. Yes, I know it's cheap and it's special effects, but they make it work. They really believe in this stuff. I give this serial 1.5 stars out of 5. Hopefully the next serial will be better. It should be, for it brings back the classic Ice Warrior Martians in the next serial titled The Seeds of Death. And I'll see you then.